welcome. What is it? Thursday night MC Facebook Live. You guys look at this. 1:35. I think we're just getting warmed up. You're here, I'm here, we're here. We're ready to make big boom boom. And we got a special show tonight for you. We're going to call it Mastering the Total Social Digital Experience, the guest experience. And I'll give it a context in a second, but a very special guest. Sara El-Toumi, who is the salon owner, Summit Salon owner, at Salon Nefisa in Columbia, Missouri. Summit coach Roberta Dotson. Roberta's been hanging out with them, Sara says, I think 4 or 5 years. And so it's just been a great ride, and I can't wait to begin the conversation. But as we always do, why did I invite Sara to come on tonight? Well, first of all, she's over the proverbial $1 million mark in 2017, 1.15, and she now is trending to go 1.3. So she's on a roll. She's taken her staff from 6 to 19 people. She was behind the chair for many, many moons and retired. I think it was 2015-ish. Average service ticket in that salon company is $90. And what's really extraordinary about this, you guys, is haircuts are at 41, so you can see that that's well into like 2.3, 2.4. So she's crushing it. New guest count, this is what I just love about it, is running at 27%. And you're going to see why in a second. And when I put referrals on top of that, that puts us over a big time. And her rebook is 65%. So those of you that are Summit Salon owners know that's huge. That's how you grow a beauty salon. You have a whole bunch of new coming in, but you're retaining a heck of a lot more of than not. So we're going to talk about what is she doing on her social digital marketing and branding, specifically her search engine optimization, and it is all kinds of really cool stuff we're going to get into. What else she's going to tell you about her story and her ride and when the salon opened up. There's another person that she really feels great about. Ellen is her social media page manager, helps her to kind of keep that, and Ellen couldn't be on tonight. But if you follow those guys, and I really want you to follow those guys, you can follow them on Instagram. Their handle is @Salon Nefisa in both Facebook and Instagram. And we're going to take you there tonight to show you just what they have cooking. 80% of their referrals, salon referrals, are coming from social. So they are very much social media as part of the grounding. And 80% of their new business is coming from social as well. So they're really in the game. Now, one of the big reasons why I wanted Sara on tonight is I interviewed Calissa, who is watching tonight, about probably 15, 20 interviews ago, and she just is crushing it on videography and those kinds of things on social. But those of you that are on the Summit Salon community page, I did a little surveying, a little bit of research about a month ago, and I really was looking for who really had their SEO Google act together. Like if I Googled salons in your city, were you or were you not the first to come up? And if you were, how quickly could I get to the website? And once I was in the website, how much did I have to scroll to find the Instagram page? And once I got there, Sara and company, Salon Nefisa, Visa, just crushed it. And so I asked her to come on tonight, and when we get into her best practices with, the Google experience, the web experience, the social media experience, and then how they're carrying that forth in the salon. So what we're going to do is I'm going to see if she's in our green room. We're going to bring her out. I want you to hear the story because it's an extraordinary story, and then we'll get into her best practice. So there she is. Give it up for one more time, will you guys? Thanks for coming on. You got the world cheering you on tonight, girl. You need to know that.
I love it. That's great. I'm happy to be here.
Oh, thanks for. I know you had a lot going on today, and you and I spent some time on the phone. So I want to get your story, because the story to me is the soul part, the spirit part of the success. And I just know that your journey has been nothing short of extraordinary. So let's start with from the very beginning. What was your life like before it got to this place?
Wow. Well, so in 1965, I was born. No, I'm just kidding. Before I came to Summit, I was lost. I was given everything away to the stylists who had me held hostage, and I was a volunteer in that completely. I remember probably the bottom was when I had to tap into my retirement to make payroll. And that's when I'm like, I just don't think this is what it was supposed to be like. And so I really kind of had a personal bottom, and I talked to my my state beauty rep, who's Chris Spots, and he led me to Summit, and I did the scorecard. I met with somebody across the street from the salon. We went to a coffee shop, and I showed my numbers, and he did a scorecard, and of course led me to my first summit in Tampa, Florida in 2012. And Randy Kunkel told his story, with which I identified big time. I mean, he spoke to me, and I had just brought Ellen along with me earlier that year, and she came with me, and she's my right-hand woman. We couldn't run the business without her. And so we had the support of Hope and Summit, and we put it in place. 2013 was our year of transition. We lost about 80% of our professional staff, which was pretty rough. Calissa Knoll, who you met with in an interview, she's my number one. She's now a shareholder too, which was a big deal. That happened just this week, that she bought in to be a shareholder. So I'm really proud of her. She was my first hire after we went Summit. She was the first to to be an associate and then be an educator. She became an educator. Well, she was our second educator. I guess she came under, anyway, she's a force, and her talent and her vision, along with Ellen and all the young people that I've hired, when I see talent and I see that motivation and that ingenuity, I turn it over to them and empower them, and they've taken us to the next level over and over.
You know, you and I've been conversing now for a handful of minutes, and
Mm-hmm.
I love the focus, because you're saying here is what led me here, but here are the people now that are part of our new way, and how they've grown, and how their part is much a part of your life as anything. And so that turnaround, I mean, what a great turnaround story. And when you and I were kind of preparing for the conversation, you said that there were a couple people that were paramount in inspiring you to they were pivotal in making the difference. And I wanted to give you the opportunity to really say who these people were.
Well, I would. Randy Kunkel probably is one, and he may not know how much I love him, but him and Ellen Crane, but outside the salon, I would say Randy, Peter.
Yeah.
Very much so. Peter, when he did his presentation at the first summit, that was pivotal for me.
Yeah. And by the way, there's a whole bunch of people in your world that are watching tonight. Ellen is one of them. And so we're honoring her. Ellen, I haven't had the opportunity to speak with, but she's just doing an extraordinary job in really helping you manage that whole, that digital social effort. And we'll get to that in a second. So here you are now, Sara, and from where you were and what you kind of, a warrior has been to hell and back, lived to tell about it, and rather than being made bitter, has been made better. That you're now in a place that you're leading from the soul, the spirit, and building a culture and really building a solid company. In a nutshell, what's it like now for you, and your people and your salon company, compared to a handful of years ago when it sounded like things were real fragile?
People are happy. People are productive. People care about their career. They have a consciousness. They're aware of their personal well-being, their personal growth, which I certainly, that's my love is to have the social emotional learning be a priority in our culture. And we have a lot of fun. We have very little drama. I say those are the hardest things me as an owner, and probably the thing that I wouldn't say I do it best, but there's nobody else in the salon that can make those hard decisions. And I have the support of a great leadership team too, that helps me reach those decisions, and also trusting my gut, knowing that if there is any negativity or drama in the salon, that it's not tolerated, but that we also offer feedback and try and do a lot of conflict resolution. We're learning a lot in that area. So not hiding from anyone, not avoiding anyone. And it certainly used to be a lot of avoidance,
Right.
and not wanting to show up.
As I've gotten to know you to prep for the interview, I mean, we use words like social, emotional learning, and that's part of the culture, and then the personal development, and I think that's very, very important. But it starts at the top, and as I've gotten to know you, you really walk the talk. You practice the preach, that you're in the game, you're growing at
Sure.
both a personal, professional, leadership level. I think your people see that authenticness, and it inspires them to go, okay, we're in, right? To take us on the
I hope
ride.
so. I mean, you got to trust your leader, right? And it's really easy to talk about things, but until you're willing to do them and walk through it, then you really don't have much to share.
Right.
No.
So where do you go from here? What, in a nutshell, what's the future?
Well, we'd love to, we're thinking about a second location, but we're also just thinking about expanding our current location a little bit by adding more stylists. We want to grow. We want to get 3 associates and have them leveled up by the end of next year. A second location, we really want to be at, the 80% productivity in our space now, and we're not quite there. But we set our goals for next year. About a 10% growth seems realistic. We did a 30% growth within the first 2 years of implementing Summit. So we're just incremental, steady growth, stability, really building the team we have. And, we've got 5 or 6 certified, Redken certified stylists right now, which is really exciting. So really building the team we have to be the best they can be.
Yeah,
we've got a team they'll come in on a Sunday, a rainy, sleepy Sunday. They drag their butts in there on a Sunday morning happily. And, I'm very grateful for that.
So you got it cooking. I mean, you're hitting it on all fronts, from a culture, a leadership, and education. We're going to get into the marketing in just a second. You're in a place that's diametrically opposite the place you were in. The thousands of people that'll be watching this interview over the next few days or so, they're not in the place you're at tonight. They're in the place you were at. And so, in a nutshell, before we get into the marketing practices, what might you say to them to give them hope and vision so that maybe they can be in a place that you're at sooner rather than later?
Keep your eye on the ball. Keep hiring people who are passionate, who are willing, who want the career growth. They want a career. Know when to cut people loose. That's been a big lesson for me. Keep walking, keep trudging, keep meeting your coach. Keep doing that next right thing that your coach suggests you do, no matter how hard it is, and stay positive and have fun, for sure. Keep having fun.
All right, we got about 5 or 6 minutes left, and so I really want to get into your digital effort, because it's extraordinary. I've got my mobile, I'm holding it up, and one of the things that got my attention is when I was doing that little study on the Summit community, I plugged in, right, what I'm doing now is I'm hitting salons in Columbia, Missouri, which is where your salon is located, and I'm holding this up. I want the world to see you are not only on page 1 of Google, but you are number 1 on page 1 of Google, and your new business is running at over 20%. You put your referrals in there, you're at like 30 points. Your rebook is like 65%. The world wants to know, how in the world did you get to Google page 1 and number 1 and stay there? And I know there's a number of things there, but you were talking about something that I wanted to make sure that you shared tonight with our viewers.
Well, I respond to reviews, especially the ones that aren't so favorable. When you have someone come into the salon and then they leave, and then they go and post a review that maybe states that their experience wasn't great. And So I 100% respond to those reviews the best I can, reach out, respond in kind, be willing to right whatever was wrong. I mean, if people don't have a great experience, and that's what we tout. We're a salon where you can have a great luxury experience. If people aren't experiencing that, then I've got to reach out to them. And that's not those are not easy things to do. I mean, that's put it on my list of things that I do, is that I reach out to people who might not have been as satisfied. And it always hurts, those reviews hurt a little bit. They sting a little bit. And 9 times out of 10, we can keep that guest. And that's what it's all about, is keeping guests.
I love your stat. So, 9 out of 10 less than desirable reviews, you'll follow that up and make a demonstration to this person, turn that around so that, what was going against you, all of a sudden, you made a demonstration, integrity and good faith. And so you're saying, if there was one best practice that gets us to page 1 and keeps us there, it's really managing the reviews and correcting the less than great reviews.
Correct. Yes.
Now, the other thing is I'm going to bring this back and hold it. If I switch to page 2, I touch it and I'm page 2 and I'm still on Google and I touch your website, it's seamless. So I'm blown away on Google, but now I'm on your first page on my mobile device. And what I absolutely loved, it was like the second test that I brought people through. Your Instagram icon is on the very front. I don't have to scroll anything there.
Right.
And when I touch that Instagram icon, it brings me right to your salon's page. And as I begin to scroll that page, I see remarkable work. I mean, you and I were chatting about this. You don't get a second chance to make a first impression. That's going to be made in about 5 seconds, and it's mind blowing.
Yeah, we've got mad talent. I've got women that have mad talent. Everyone's got a strength somewhere. For sure. Yeah. Amazing.
And you're saying that Ellen really, large in part, helps to really evolve that part of your business.
And Ellen spends a lot of time outside the salon doing that. And she cares enough to educate herself on that. She takes lots of classes. We all go symposium together. She's always up on the latest in social media, the widgets, and how to connect things. So yes, I mean, that's so valuable.
Now,
and it's certainly something that I'm not, I'm not savvy in that area. I recognize that. And so I'm certainly willing to delegate those tasks to those who can succeed and excel in them and empower them to. Well, she's good that way.
Sarah, she's really on her game. I wanted to demonstrate this because I really went deep in your page. I mean, I really did some due diligence, and I want the viewer to see how solid you are. So on the first post, and it's most recent, I think it was a handful of hours ago, I'm going to touch it. And what's interesting is that the person's handle, her name, I believe, is Hair by Anna. So when I touch it, I can go to her. That brings me to her page. Her page is extraordinary, but
Anna's amazing. Yes,
you can see the picture that made it to the company's page. And when I touched that picture, Anna posted it on her page 4 days ago. And then what Anna did was she tagged the salon, and I know that because when I hit the tag button, I can find the picture in the tag tank, and it was uploaded from the tag tank right to the page, and that happened in a matter of 1 or 2 days. So Ellen is really on the ball. I mean, if we had time tonight, and I'm going to invite the viewer to go to your page and just touch pictures, go to your employees' pages, then go to the tag tank. You can actually track this where Ellen is doing an extraordinary job. This is so
Yeah.
important that people are recognized when they're posting their content on the company's page. It strengthens your brand. It kind of raises awareness about their work behind the chair. So that's why I wanted you on tonight, is to really talk about that.
Yes. Yeah. I'm over. I just, they never cease to amaze me with their talent there, and the return we get. What is it? 80% of our referrals come from our social media.
Oh my, yeah. And so now when the guest comes in, I want to be careful I'm not leading you, but the all of the work that's put on these pages, these very pages, are used when the guest comes in
Yes.
like the consultation. So the Instagram experience is being brought in real time when the guest is going through consultation. And of course, there's the photo shoot. And now Calissa is really pioneering
Yes, she is.
videography. So the 4 touch points, you're hitting them: the Google, the website, the social media, and then the in salon experience using devices and social media is just extraordinary.
Yeah. I love it.
Well, listen, we're out of time, but before we go,
Okay.
is there anything you want to say to all these people that are watching you tonight? I mean, you probably have every friend in your life that's on right now, and they're saying hi to you, and they tell you.
I was a little quiet about being on FB Live, because anyway, but that's just me. To all that who is listening, meet with your people, meet with your staff. They need to feel your love. They need to know that you care, and have fun.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put your handles on here. I don't be surprised if you find a lot of Facebook messages about people that want to like pick your brain, because I think what you're doing is just it's extraordinary. I want to congratulate you. I want to thank you for being on tonight. We're going to let you go so I can kind of summarize this tutorial. It was extraordinary.
Okay.
So let's give
Thanks,
it up for
Michael.
Sarah one more time, you guys. I'll talk to you soon, my friend.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. You guys, this was nothing short of remarkable. I feel so strongly about this that I want to summarize what Sara said, because it was just an extraordinary tutorial. Let me just bring the PowerPoint back up, because I have a slide that I think will really kind of put it all in perspective. There it is. So she took us on a ride tonight, you guys. She really did. So if you look at, there's 4 touch points if you're going to really use social digital to brand the salon or to brand your page. One is, more and more people are going to Google, and as we said, when you Google salons in Columbia, Missouri, Nefisa is the first to come up on page 1, and it's number 1. And so she's saying one of the ways that we got there and we stay there is we really encourage reviews. Whenever we get a less than favorable review, she's on it and goes way beyond the call of duty to reconcile and turn that experience around for the guest, so that when the guest leaves after the second time, it's like, whoa, there was a demonstration. She doesn't run and hide. And then if you touch on Google, if you touch the website, it'll take you right to the website, which is the second touch point. And you can see that in the website itself. I don't have to scroll to find the Instagram button. It's right there. I can touch it. It brings us to the salon's page, and any picture that we touch, it'll not only take us back to the employees page, but we can actually see when that content was posted on the service provider's page, when it was tagged in the salon's tag tank, when it went from the tag tank and uploaded by Ellen, so that all of that works in a beautiful method, so that anytime somebody is really capturing content and putting it on their page, and they're tagging the salon, it's showing up in a timely. This is the new way. When somebody is saying, how can I take my game to the next level? What is coming at us? What is trending? What do I need to do to be modernized and to be current? Don't look now, but she took us on that ride. The Google experience, the website experience, the social media experience, and then last but not least, when the guest does come in, and as I said before, she's running at like 24% new business, 10-12% referral. I mean, that's well into 30+% with a rebook of about 65%. This is how you grow a beauty salon, you guys. And when she's doing that, when the guest comes in, the same content that people are using on their page, they're bringing this into the consultation. So that when a guest comes in and that guest might be on a randomly placed picture on Pinterest, it's like, no, I love that picture, but I'm going to take you to my page and show you the work I do that's paired up to that work, so that the guest is having as much of a social digital experience in real time in the chair as they do online. Oh, I hope you're hearing this. And then there's, of course, there's the photo shoot. And now there's even videography. Guests are the finishing process is being recorded, and the guests are getting time lapse of the video in the follow up. So it is really, all the work that we're doing at Summit. Sara and Nefisa are really pioneering that. They are one of the few innovators that we stay close to, because the blueprints that are coming out of that is what we're using for our system. So it was a great interview tonight. I just loved it. If you're new to us, we want to encourage you to follow us on Facebook. That the Facebook handle is Michael Cole Summit. Summit now is my last name, and the actual channel that you're watching really is it's become, frankly, the social media learning channel. And now the SEO, the search engine, Google learning channel, the website learning channel. As this whole movement of social digital age of disruption is evolving, this is the channel that you're going to want to stay close to if you want to stay ahead of that wave. We also have a Michael Cole Summit on Instagram. We're blogging, we're vlogging on that several times a day, so I want to invite you to hang out there. You should be living on summitsalon.com. There's just too many valuable resources now there, from online virtual training with social media boot camp to watching all of our YouTubes on Facebook Live, to the digital calculators that you see us using, to the tracking apps that we're using. All of this stuff now is free for the Summit Salon community. So we really want to encourage you to stay close to us on all of that. And then last but not least, we always like to take a minute to just thank L'Oreal PPD and all of their extraordinary brands. It's their sponsorship of this work, large in part, that keeps it evolving and allows us to bring this kind of content to you, so that you can keep growing as well. And of course, the distribution arms of PPD, Salon Centric, State Beauty, and RDA ProMart. And then last but not least, Summit Salon Business Center, we just continue to grow. We're just this side of 100 coaches now. Roberta Dotson's been hanging out with Sara for many moons. I think we're going on about 5 years now. And Roberta is one of the best and just continues to pioneer. So if you're not part of us, consider and invite, ask your sales consultant to come in, do a scorecard, talk to one of our people. Come to our summit, plug in. We think it's the next right answer to you. So on behalf of all of our people here tonight, we made history. One more time, we made history. We made big boom. So thanks for hanging with us, and we will see you on campus.